Right, let me get this out of the way. Mewtwo will clearly beat this game, so before we all start slagging me off in the comments, this is not the point of the video, although feel free as the YouTube gods will love this. This is a brand new series following on from the Snorlax video I did a while ago, which can be found here. Now, there's been a lot of videos of can this Pokemon beat this game, can this type beat this game, etc, etc, and I wanted to twist the concept a little and see what is the lowest level I can beat the game with each of the respected legendaries. So I'll probably call this the Legendary Series, kinda makes sense. Plus, I was getting bored of doing the games with really poo Pokemon. I reckon I will go back to this again in the future, but I just needed a new thing to play with. As always, please leave a like, comment, and if you really enjoy this content, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. I release videos quite frequently, and usually a new challenge video every 4 weeks. I wanted to do a YouTube full time, and I need your help to do so. I'm also on Twitter as well, so make sure you follow me, and that link will be in the description. Now, I know J Rose beat Red and Blue with Mewtwo and Mew, so I'm not going to repeat this. However, I will be starting with Generation 3, or 1.5, I don't know, however you want to look at it, with Firered. Now, you may all be thinking, is this just going to be the same in Red and Blue? Trust me, it ain't. It really is not going to be. For a start, Dark types are now in the games as they weren't originally. The special stat is now split into attack and defense rather than being combined, which made no sense back in Generation 1, and there are a lot more moves than there were before. Oh yeah, there are abilities and natures and held items as well, so yeah, there's a lot of difference between the two versions. I call myself HBT and call my rival Blue. I do need to be more creative with some of the names I pick, I understand. I get my Mewtwo and call him Professor X, and its quiet nature, which means its speed stat is reduced and my special attack is increased. Now I know what you're thinking, surely you just want a modest or a timid nature. Well, here's the thing, I can't be bothered to reset until I get a good nature, so I always just go with the first one I get. My thought process at the time was that, well, Mewtwo's one of the fastest Pokemon in the game, so the drop in speed shouldn't be too painful, or so I thought. As always, we complete the obligatory first battle against Blue, and it goes against a Charmander. Now, unlike the Red and Blue Mewtwo who starts with Psychic, I start with Confusion. Still powerful in Mewtwo's hands, but nowhere near as powerful as Psychic, which makes me think this run's going to be a little harder. Confusion has a 50 base power, whereas Psychic has base 90, so you can see there's a big difference there. Even with Confusion, it only takes 2 moves to crush the little lizard and get our first win. It happens so quick that I imagine by the time I'm talking about this, I've already left the lab. I get to Brock at level 6, having fought the mandatory bug catcher in Viridian Forest, and now in these challenges, to be able to complete the game at the lowest level possible, I'll be trying to complete the runs only using minimum battles, so this is so I can try and complete the game at the lowest level possible. So of course I will be going into these gym battles at a very low level. Now this may seem like it won't be a problem, but I can assure you over these challenges there are going to be a lot of moments when I throw the computer out the window. With Brock, for example, his Pokemon will be double my level, which made me think this is going to be a really tough match, even if I do have the biological god that is Mewtwo. So Brock sends out Geodude first, and Confusion is still whacking a ton, and 3 hits is enough. Onix comes out and is faster than me, which is key, and there was me thinking the quiet nature would mean it would be okay. I got its health down to the point where I thought I should knock it out now with one more hit, but Brock has other ideas and finishes me off. Oh my god, I've just been beaten by Brock. I would have bet my house that this would never happen. Like, how does a Mewtwo lose to an Onix? Like, imagine telling your friends this happened, they wouldn't even look at me again. So I dust myself off and try again, and due to Onix being faster, it wins the second match, which really highlights how important speed is when doing these challenges. Third time, and Brock decides to keep using Bind, which either misses or does barely any damage at all, which opens up the door for me to get the win. I'm going to put this out there, if the computer had Kaizo level AI, I'd be relying on critical hits to win this match, which in itself seems incredible. I mean, this is Mewtwo we're talking about, Mewtwo, and I'm going against an Onix, a bloody Onix. I also go back to the point when I first got Mewtwo that the Red and Blue Mewtwo was armed with Psychic from the start, which would have made this battle an absolute breeze, as it would have only required 2 hits instead of 3. With my first badge obtained, I'm able to carry on to the next part of the journey, and there was no problem on the way through to Mount Moon. I do however pick up my beautiful Dome fossil, as who wants a stupid Helix fossil anyway? Let's be honest, those things are just filled with beautiful matted beard hair that smells of lavender. Apparently they are. Look, I don't think I've ever used an Omnistar before, I don't think I ever will, I just don't rate the thing. I go past the karate guys who are just randomly standing there and pick up Mega Kick. I could go with Mega Punch for the better accuracy, but I made the decision that I want power if Confusion is not able to do the job if I need it. I really wanted Body Slam, but this is blocked by a trainer on the SSN, and to stick to minimum battles I have to stay clear. I was then left with a decision, go fight Misty or go fight the rival. Now I know at my current level there's no way I can beat Misty, well I don't think there is, so I head north to fight Blue. It's actually quite nice to have this decision in front of me rather than just going straight after Misty. Even when this starts, I'm 4 levels down on the Pidgeotto. I use Barrier to help with my defense because I know I'm going to get smacked and I'm not going to be able to get recover for a long time. I then go on the attack with Confusion and take out the stupid bird in 2, Rattata in 1, Charmander in 2, and I give the Abra a kick up the arse. By beating Blue, I also have the opportunity to gain more experience on the way to Bill, as there's quite a few mandatory trainers you have to fight. By meeting Bill and getting my boat tickets, I head to Misty in the hope that I'm now strong enough. I'm now 1 level above the Staryu and a critical Mega Kick is able to take it out. Misty's Starmie comes out and is faster than me as well, which makes it again a massive pain. The Starmie uses Water Pulse, which confuses me to make things even better for me, and of course I hit myself. I need 2 Mega Kicks to win the match, but I'm only able to get 1 off before fainting. This is silly. The first 2 gym leaders have beaten Mewtwo. Like, I bet when you clicked on this video, you didn't think this was actually going to be happening. As I said at the beginning, this has the potential to be one of those I throw the computer out the window moments. Staryu is not a problem, but it's the Starmie that is the main problem, and yet again I get confused, which will give Misty the win. This is becoming a battle of do not get confused and do not miss Mega Kick. This does happen on the 3rd run as Water Pulse does not confuse me and both my Mega Kicks land to take out the messed up non-chocolate starfish. This fight was a bit more straightforward, unlike the Brock battle, which I still believe was just dumb luck. The SS-An, although meant to be an area to explore, is done in absolute seconds, as I head straight for Blue for the 3rd time, and I was not concerned about this at all, considering what happened last time we fought. Stupid Bird went down, but manages to throw sand in my face, lowering my accuracy. The Raticate is sent down in 1, and I miss the Mega Kick on the Kadabra, and it uses Disable on my Mega Kick. I needed that to knock you out, you melon. Oh well, I stick with Confusion. Oh, and it's dead. Its final Pokemon, Charmeleon, just needs another Confusion to go down, and I miss. Okay, Ember and Burn damage. That's not going to help, but then I miss again, and I get knocked out. I've lost again. That's 6 defeats already. I was not expecting any at this point. I try again, hoping for better fortune, and I get rid of the bird, but it does use Sand Attack again. I manage to kick Kadabra in the face, and once again I miss the critical Confusion twice, get burnt, but thankfully I do take it out on the 3rd go. It just goes to show Mewtwo does not mean instant win. The 3rd gym leader to face is Lieutenant Surge, who I thought there's no way he's going to beat me first time, surely not. He starts with Voltorb and 1 Confusion sees it off. Pikachu then gets a kick in the face to go down in 1, it does paralyse me with its static ability, cheers for that. My favourite Raichu is out last and does its best to annoy me but fails and falls to my power. Finally, I have won a gym battle in the first attempt. I wish you could say more about it and stretch this out for your enjoyment, but sadly I can't. Now, due to the fact I can't be bothered playing in the dark in the rock tunnel, my plan was to head back through the Diglett's tunnel to get Flash. However, this is where I fall down quite comically. Due to minimum battles, I kept running away from the Digletts, but I forgot they have Arena Trap, which meant I'd have to knock it out. I started laughing because I can't fight it, and that extra experience may be the difference between winning and losing. So to make sure I'm pure, I reset and had to beat Lieutenant Surge once again. See, I just needed an excuse to show this battle again, which as you can imagine was no problem. The rock tunnel was quickly done, and we made my way to Celadon with nothing exciting to report. But now I'm in Celadon, I can finally add some much needed power to my beast. I go up to get the tea from the old woman and give it to the guard to the entry points to Saffron City. Once there, I go see Mr. Psychic to pick up the TM Psychic, which I give straight to Mewtwo to return him to his former glory. As earlier said, this move is nearly twice as powerful as Confusion and gives me the ability to hit teams hard. It should also be raised that in Red and Blue I could have picked up the TM for Ice Beam from the girl at the Celadon department store and Thunderbolt from Lieutenant Surge, but this is not the case as they're only available as rewards from the game corner. I'll make this very clear. There is no way I can afford these moves, so do not expect to see in any of these challenges. I could in theory try and raise the income to get these items, but no, I can't be bothered. Going back into the run now, with Psychic now equipped, I headed for Erica knowing that this could be a pushover, and spoiler, it was. Did anyone actually think this was going to be difficult? But it will be nice to show you all what happens. Yeah, she starts with Victreebel and goes down in 1, Tangela goes down in 1, Vileplume, yeah, you get the picture. Pretty easy, and Mewtwo is now the king. For now. We go through the Rocket hideout to meet Giovanni, and by the way, doesn't he have nice plants in his office? Too many for my liking though, to be honest. Well, let's be honest, it is a bit too many, but still, it looks pretty nice. He starts with Onyx, who dies in 1. Kangaskhan does have Bite, but it doesn't really do anything. Rhyhorn also goes down in 1. So yeah, the game's big bad guy is going to be nothing really, considering who will be adding to his team later on. For beating him, he gives me the Silph Scope to let me go to the Pokemon Tower. I meet with Blue for the 4th time, and his fat stupid bird is out first, but I don't give it the chance to throw any sand in my face before it goes down. Not even the mighty Gyarados can stop Psychic, and it goes down toot sweet. Execute and Kadabra also go down in 1, even considering the type disadvantage. And Charmeleon is also smacked in 1. Sorry everyone, this segment has become a massacre, and I hope it stays that way for the rest of the game, but don't worry, it's not going to. There is nothing left to report here but a bit of dodging trainers and fighting the odd ghost and picking up the Sylph Scope just to get my access to Fuchsia City. The next gym leader on my hit list is the Elite Four member to be Koga. Now let's look at this on paper. I have the game's most powerful Psychic type against a team made of Poison types, who Mewtwo is strong against. How do you think this is going to go? Well, it goes exactly how you think it's going to go. In fact, the Muck is the only one that doesn't collapse in one, and it really was a cakewalk. Like Surge, I really wish I could give you more, but I can't. I suppose I could just waffle a bit here, but trust me, it's not going to be this easy. No. With Koga now done, I headed off to do the business in Saffron City. First up was the Sylph Company, and on reflection, it's amazing how quick this section can be done. This is meant to be one of the biggest events in the game, and you can have it done in 5 minutes. You can grab the key in next to no time and meet Blue again in less time than I'm probably doing this script. I should also add, when I completed the Snorlax run, I completed an extra battle here because I obtained the rare candies in fear I would need them later on. This time I don't have that fear, so I am sticking to the minimum battle rule. Although this is a bold prediction, I kept thinking, I have Mewtwo, I have Psychic, I win at life! We meet with Blue for the 5th time, and this is going to be the world's most inappropriately timed battle, but now that I have Psychic, I'm expecting this to be an easy win. Mega Fat Bird goes down in 2 hits, as does the Giant Water Onix. Charizard comes in and nearly takes him out with a flamethrower. Bloody hell, that did a lot of damage. Next is the Fried Eggs, and I can't get rid of them, which means they knock me out. Mewtwo has been beaten by a pile of eggs. Those things have literally just got pooped out of a chicken's arse. I ever think about things and give myself Water Pulse to give Mewtwo some more coverage. I'm just annoyed that I'm now having to use my brain to win matches and not just click the amazing strategy of press A and win or right arrow as it is on my laptop. Pidgeot is finished quickly enough, Gyarados gets hit with a critical Psychic, Charizard gets confused by Water Pulse and then hits itself, which opens me up for the win, and I use Swift on the eggs, which does nothing, but Psychic does and I get rid of it for some odd reason. Blue's final Pokemon is Alakazam, who starts using Calm Mind, which means it can take my Psychics quite easily. I switched to Water Pulse and in return Alakazam kept using Future Sight, which kept failing and allowed me to grab the win. This again is another case of good and consistent AI would have given him the win. I'm not going to complain, but I feel if this was Kaizo, I wouldn't have had a chance. Speaking of Kaizo, now the 3rd and final part of the Emerald Kaizo run will be coming at some point, and I've also done a Blue Kaizo run as well, so stay tuned for that, just God knows when I'm actually going to release it. Now after that car crash, I needed something to cheer me up, so who better to face than Giovanni. Now that I have Water Pulse equipped, I feel that with all my bases covered. Nidorina goes down in 1, as does Nidoqueen. I have to Swift the Kangaskhan because I ran out of Psychics, and Water Pulse is able to get rid of Rhyhorn. I decided to hang fire going after Sabrina because I couldn't get access to Shadow Ball either. Well, I could, but it has the same problem as Thunderbolt and Ice Beam being a very expensive TM. If I had access to these moves, this game would be an absolute joke. So because of this, I decided to go after Blaine, and I thought, well, I have Water Pulse now, I should be fine. Yeah, right. Blaine starts with Growlithe, and even though Growlithe is a lot better than its red and blue counterpart, it still goes down in 1 Water Pulse. Blaine throws out Arcanine next, and my god, Fire Blast does so much damage. Even though I do knock it out, I'm barely left with anything for the Rapidash. As such, the Ponyta goes down in 1, and here comes a Rapidash. I got ahead of myself when it became confused, but this excitement left me pretty quickly when it broke through it and wiped me out with a Fire Blast. So we lose again, and this time to the Master of Fire. Look, I didn't expect that to happen, to be honest. I tried again, but this time I just used Psychic to see if that made a difference, but he had exactly the same damage output. I get to the Rapidash again and manage to confuse it, and this time it does hit itself in confusion, which gives me the space to get the job done. Once again, this was another battle of pure luck because the Fire Blasts were more than enough to finish me off. It's not a nice way to win, and I wish I could show you some fancy strategy with the lowest level run. It's just a case of getting the job done however I can. I'm not a perfectionist, and I think the only thing I've banned in these runs is over-leveling for the sake of it and using Double Team because they're both pretty cheap ways to win. It was now time to go fight Sabrina, and with no Shadow Ball, I just went straight after her with Psychic. Using Brute Force alone got rid of the Kadabra and the Venomoth, and then she threw out my favourite Pokemon in the whole world, stupid ass Mr. Mime, who goes down in 2. Finally, it was her Alakazam, and I was able to use Recover to heal off the damage done by Psychic and Water Pulse, but I do manage to confuse it and wait for my chance. Sadly, this doesn't come, and after a lot of messing around, it starts using Calm Mind, which would reduce my damage output even more. I feel sod it, I'm running out of options to go for a Swift, which takes out with ease. I sat there really confused, thinking it was a special move, and thought, you numpty, you should have used that from the beginning. I moved on from this pretty quickly enough because I got the prize I wanted, the TM for Calm Mind, which will make Professor X, Lord of all things, and be the bringer of death and destruction. Granted, this is not Amnesia, which was so broken back in Generation 1, but it will do. Calm Mind would increase Mewtwo's special attack and defense by 1 stage, so it is still very useful. Before we get excited, we still have one more gym leader to go, and it's old mate Giovanni, and considering I was getting a bit too happy with Calm Mind, it's really not needed here, and Mewtwo is able to crush Giovanni with little effort as a fart. He starts with Rhyhorn, which goes down to Water Pulse, as does Dugtrio, the Nidoqueen, the Nidoking, and his second Rhyhorn. Yeah, it's a bit anticlimactic considering he's the last gym leader. Now before we go any further, I need to give a little history and a maths lesson, so feel free to skip this bit if you want. I'm only explaining this now because I know someone's going to mention it in the comments. In Generation 3, EV training became a thing, and I was debating doing this, but I thought nah, it would mess up the minimal battles idea, so I didn't do it. Now for those who don't know, EVs, or effort values, were a secret little number you get whenever you knock out a Pokemon. So for example, if you beat a Zubat, you got 1 in speed, or a Caterpie, and I was 1 HP. Now every time you get 4 of these little points in a particular stat, you get 1 visible stat point when you level up. The most hidden values you can get is 510 and 252 in 1 stat, so in theory you could have an extra 63 points in 1 stat. It's not really something that you need to think of during the main game, but in the competitive scene, my god, it is essential to understand this. It is the matter of winning and losing. Now as I'm not battling wild Pokemon, the only way I could boost my EVs up were using vitamins. These would give you 10 EV points or 2.5 actual points for each one you use. You could use 10 per stat, but this was finally changed in Sword and Shield where you can consume as many as you want. The real downside in this is vitamins cost an absolute fortune. So I used whatever money I had to buy some speed and HP vitamins. I could use some more money, but look, I couldn't be arsed if I'm completely honest with you. We have 6 more battles to go, and I'm hoping they're going to be more exciting than the Giovanni fight. I start with Blue again, but before I start, I teach Professor X Calm Mind instead of Swift, so I have that extra power. Blue starts with Stupid Fat Bird, so I decided to go out and try my new toy and use it twice for good measure. With the power now in place, I now destroys Pidgeot with a Psychic, Water Pulse got rid of Rhyhorn, not even Execute with the same typing could survive a hit, nor the Gyarados, nor even the Charizard. Okay, it did. Fair enough. Regardless, it went down next hit, and because of this, I learned Recover, which is huge. The Alakazam is his final Pokemon, and I show at the door, leaving me free to go fight the Elite Four. Now I have to say before we go into this that I am very happy that I've been able to keep to minimum battles, and it is now just about completing the run. My move pool is not really amazing, but I did pick up Blizzard at Cinnabar Island, which can be used for Lance. Now the Elite Four, I was thinking of all the runs that I had ahead of me, and this is going to be one of the easier ones due to the typing of the Pokemon coming up. Like, I'll soon be doing this with Groudon and Emerald, who has to face Elite Four members that have Ice and Waters as their types. Now to get ready before I go in, I teach Professor X Shockwave and say goodbye to Water Pulse as I felt it done what it needed to do, whereas it can get more work out of Shockwave. The Ice Queen Lorelei is first, and it's exactly why I needed this move. She sends out Dugong, so I use Calm Mind twice, which allows for that 1-hit kill. Lapras in fact needed 3 hits, 3 Shockwaves, and it shows how bulky that thing is. Cloyster, no. Cloyster has terrible special defense, so it has no chance. Now when the Slowbro comes out, I use Recover, but the Slowbro uses an Amnesia, which means it's able to survive a Shockwave. He then hits me with a Surf, and come on, I get taken out by a critical Surf. A Slowbro has knocked out Mewtwo. When trying again, I know that Dugong is a rubbish Pokemon, so I use it to set up 4 Calm Minds and then recovered and thought I was safe. And how wrong I was, as Professor X was now frozen solid. Now this is Generation 3, not 2, or not 1, which means that I could thaw out. Eventually. Finally, my god, well done. Next was Lapras, which was not surviving this time, and neither can the Slowbro. Jinx is able to hold on and puts me to sleep, and I really wasn't that worried. I woke up straight away and cleaned up. I still can't believe that I lost to a Slowbro in the last match. I still can't believe I lost to an Onix. Now Bruno, our friend Bruno. This is supposed to be the easiest battle of the game, so I won't stress you too much. The Onix goes down in 1, but then the Hitmonchan survives. I suppose I am 8 levels lower than it. So I use a Calm Mind to give me some protection, but I'd previously been hit by a Rock Tomb, which means I was slower than the Hitmonlee, and it nearly takes me out. I did manage to kill it, but guess what? I was taken out by the Onix, and Onix again, and by Bruno no less. I should honestly give up now because I didn't think I'd be losing to Bruno, let alone an Onix. I cannot let this stand, so I use Calm Mind, remove Onix, Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, and oh my god, I lose again. This is why speed is such an important factor in these runs. Bruno is actually becoming difficult. Like, surely this is a first for Mewtwo. Like, my word. I try a 3rd time and I have more health by the time I get to Onix, which allows me to knock it out. His Machamp is slower than me, which means it has no chance, and I can say goodbye to the mighty god that is Bruno. Agatha is next, and again like Bruno, I would hope I'd be okay, but hey, look what happened in the last match. Professor X came up against the first Gengar and was faster, which got me the win. The Golbat was no threat, well, never is really, nor was the Arbok. The second Gengar was faster than me, but it missed the Hypnosis and it went down in one. Haunter posed nothing to me at all and Agatha was done. I honestly did not think I'd be talking more about Bruno than Agatha. You gotta love these challenges, and this is why they're so much fun to do, as no challenge is the same and each of them can take you on their own little adventure. The final member of the Elite Four is Lance, the Dragon King. Now before I entered, I got rid of Shockwave and replaced it with Blizzard, as this will destroy his dragons. His Water Onix is out first, so I used 2 Calm Minds to set up on and hit it with a Psychic, but it isn't enough to wipe it out. I use a third Calm Mind and heal whilst it goes for a Hyper Beam. When I'm ready, I go for the kill and finish it in 1. Next is Aerodactyl, and although it has the speed, it was always going down. The Dragonite comes out and 1 Blizzard finishes it, which is an absolute given. His first Dragonair comes out and I missed 3 Blizzards, so I had to use Psychics to kill it in 1, and the second Dragonair goes down the same way. 3 Blizzards, that's stupid, but look, I always knew it was going to be one of those, it's easy if it hits. Finally, it is the champion, our rival Blue. I heal up and use an elixir to get ready for the battle. This is still going to be a challenge as I'm 10 levels behind the stupid fat bird, and that's only his first Pokemon. I start off by using 2 Calm Minds, which means Psychic is enough to finish it off. However, I should have realised that 2 Calm Minds is not going to be enough to take out the Gyarados, who kills me with a Thrash. The second time round I use Calm Minds, but start getting sand thrown in my face, so I have to kill it before my prep was done. I had to use more Calm Minds against the Gyarados, which I was able to do when Lance used a potion. With more power, I was able to get rid of the Gyarados, and the Charizard also goes down in 1, which takes me to level 50. Alakazam is able to hold on, so I use another Calm Mind to try and give it the final push. However, I missed Psychic twice and now I'm out of PP. This means I'm relying on Blizzard, which has terrible accuracy, and I've been hit by Sand Attack twice. I don't know how it happened, Alakazam goes down and so does the Raidon. Executor is the last one out, and I miss Blizzard and I'm down to my last move, and thankfully it hits and goes down. Thank God it's done. The Pokemon gods must have been looking down on me for that one to allow that Blizzard to hit. So the first challenge has been done and Mewtwo has beaten Firered at level 50. I really enjoyed this and it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. I guarantee that everyone who clicked this video thought Mewtwo's going to fly through this challenge, but as it's proven it's not to be the case with losses to both Brock and Bruno, and funnily enough always to an Onix. I do like this type of challenge because even though they're legendaries, it still requires me to think outside the box. Now if you've been a member of the HA Council, you would have seen all my community posts on how I've been getting on with this series and how I'm all the way up to Emerald, so there's still plenty of more to go. For the next video, I will be going to this game again and it will be Mew's turn to give it a go. Now considering how Mewtwo was done, I am worried for the little bugger. So get ready to see the challenge in 4 weeks, and always, if you like this, please leave a like, comment, share and subscribe, and until next time, I've been HPT and he's been Professor X. Bye bye.